Brother, there's a version of you that would absolutely destroy you if you ever had to go up against him in battle. And you know this because he is able to focus for long periods of time without needing cheap dopamine to distract him in his pursuits. Because he has unwavering confidence within himself, because he knows when he says something, he actually follows through. He has unlimited charisma because he doesn't care about the opinions of others and allows himself to truly be his authentic self. And the longer you postpone yourself from getting lean, taking care of your body, learning how to master the self, the wider the gap will get between that version of you and the current version of you, and it will be almost impossible for you to be able to bridge that gap. That's why the most important thing you can do in your 20s is to get lean, is to get in shape. Because when you do that, everything else becomes easier. Everything happens as a downstream from you taking care of the vehicle that is supposed to be able to get you to your goals. And you know this. But every day you sit there and you try and justify to yourself. And you say, oh, well, I look good enough. I go to the gym sometimes, and so I am at least consistent. I go more than the people around me. And you start justifying all of these things to yourself to try and get you to be comfortable in a life that you know that you settled for. You allow the limiting beliefs from other people to affect the way that you go about your life. You say, oh, because I read all the self-help books, because I do the meditations sometimes, and I watch the self-development podcast every time they come out, I am ahead of other people. I have a better mindset than most people around me, so I must be doing something right. But you know every time you go to bed that you are nowhere close to the version of you that you know you should be, the one that you thought you would be once you get to this point within life. And so you start to justify it to yourself again and try and tell yourself that you are okay living a life that you do not want. The longer you delude yourself, the harder it will be for you to be able to dig yourself out of this hole. That's why you need to get in shape now. Everything is a downstream from you taking care of your health. Everything becomes easier. Sales becomes easier. Attraction becomes easier. Influence in general just becomes so much easier whenever you are in shape. Because for you to get in shape, you have to learn how to influence yourself to do the things that you already know you need to do. Getting in shape is not hard. It is not difficult. All you have to do is act on the things you already know and do it consistently. Not just in the gym, but whenever you get out of the gym. People go to the gym and they tell themselves like, oh, I am healthy, I am in shape. And then they look like they haven't been training. But it's because they think that an hour of discipline will make up for 23 hours of slack. That doesn't make any sense. You need to fully step into the version of you that you know you need to be in every area of your life. That was with your nutrition, with your work, with your sleep, and everything. Because that's whenever you truly get the benefits of being able to get in shape, get lean. And when you do that, I'm telling you, everything else becomes easier. You help on sales calls and people are like, oh, I respect this person more because they are in shape. I want you to really think about this. Really think about this. Like imagine you go to a conference. You don't really know anybody that's there, but your homie gave you a free ticket. So you're like, yo, I'll slide. Why not? You get there and you see two posters of two speakers that are going on at the same time. Your friend looks at you and you say, which one do you want to go to? One of the pictures is somebody who's out of shape, doesn't look like they take care of themselves. And the other one is somebody that looks disciplined, that looks like they have life figured out. They're in shape. You can see their bicep thing. You know that they stick to their word because of the way that they look. Who are you going to pick? Even if you don't know anything else about the individual, you're gonna pick the person who's in shape. Why? Because you trust them more. Because when you look at somebody who's in shape, you realize that they hold themselves to a certain standard and you want to be around that. Like if somebody came up to you and said, oh, I can help you grow your business, and it was two people selling the same exact thing, but one is in shape and one isn't, you're gonna go with this person because you're like, you look like you take care of yourself, which means you will take care of me. It all comes down to the way that you look, the way that you show up, the way that you perceive yourself, because the way you perceive yourself will dictate how other people see you. And you build self-confidence, not by having big muscles. That part is cool. I always say that, like having big muscles from going to the gym is cool. Being lean is cool. Having an aesthetic physique is cool, but it's the person you become in the process of building that type of body that demands respect from other people. I want you, next time you go out, look around you and just see how uncommon it is to find people that seriously take their health and treat it with the respect that it needs. I remember I went back to Arizona and I was walking around and we went to like a Walmart or something. And I was just like, it is so uncommon to find somebody that seriously takes their health and raises it to a higher standard than the people around them. And it's just like, whenever you can do that, whenever you get lean, especially in your 20s, everything else gets easier. Because if you start that standard when you're younger, when you get to your 30s, when you get to your 40s, and you already have that built inside of you, you become unstoppable because you just stack up win after win after win after win. And when you just continuously show yourself that you are a winner, there is no way in hell that you allow yourself to settle for anything less than what you know you're meant for. That's why getting lean is one of the best investments that you can do. Learning how to master the self, the body, the mind, taking the time to develop in all areas of your life, that will help you be able to beat out 99% of people. Because people are like, oh, I'll give up my health to focus on my career, and then maybe I'll come back to it down the road. But that doesn't even make sense. Like, I want you to logically think about it. You're going to not take care of the vehicle that is supposed to be able to help you achieve your goals, and then expect for it to be able to perform well enough for you to be able to get there? That doesn't make sense. You must learn how to develop the body, develop the mind, if you truly want to direct your reality. And when you direct your reality, that's whenever you can achieve your career goals. And you can do it with ease because you know that you are somebody that shows up, that keeps their word to themselves. And that's whenever you have alignment. Because whenever you hear your conscious telling you what to do, you allow yourself to act on it and you don't waste time self-doubting. Because you learn how to live within. And when you learn how to live within correctly, you will never live without. Because everything in this external world is just a reflection of how you see yourself internally. The role that you believe you play inside of your own movie will dictate how the scenes in front of you will unfold. And so, by getting lean, becoming disciplined enough to be able to get to 10% body fat, maintain it, show up the way that you know you are supposed to, you unlock so many different levels within this game of life, and it's like you are literally just walking around on easy mode. People are attracted, women are just drawn to you. They want to be in your orbit because they believe you know something that other people don't, because they see the standard that you hold yourself to, and that alone will separate you from the rest of your competition. And so as long as you can talk and you don't go up to them and try and talk like this, and you scare them away because you haven't developed that area of your life, then you already are able to significantly stand out from everybody else that is competing for the women that you want, which widens the market that you can go after. So you don't have to settle within your dating life. Within sales, people listen to you more. People actually trust you whenever you say the things that you know they need to hear for them to make the decision that they have been holding off on. Because they look at you and they can see that you trust yourself. And that helps them fall in to what you're saying more so that you can make the impact on their life that you know you are on that call to be able to help them with. Your team, you're able to connect with them better. You're able to lead them better because they see that you lead yourself. Everything, I am telling you, will come from a reflection of you and how you see yourself. And if you want to improve the way you see yourself, you must learn how to get in shape. You must learn how to build a body that when you look in the mirror, you have zero doubt that you are somebody that shows up and commits to the things that they say. They don't hold back. They show up in every area of their life at a level that just demands the outcome that they desire. That's whenever you gain confidence. That unwavering confidence that makes you feel comfortable in any situation where you don't feel like you have to worry about what other people say because you know who you are, and no matter what they think, you are going to be able to achieve the things that you want because you have proven to yourself time and time again that when you say you're going to go after something, you mean it. Brother, getting lean, becoming the version of you that can show up consistently is the key to finding that peace, that security that you search for in all of these external things. You don't get it externally. You get it first internally, and then it's reflected externally. I need you to understand that. That's why getting lean is so important. That's why getting in shape and taking your health seriously is so important. Because everybody is so quick to do everything for everybody else, but then when it comes to themselves, they feel as if they're not good enough. They have to play small. It's selfish, or whatever it is. And that stops them from making the impact on this earth that they were put on here to make. And by getting in shape and taking time to develop yourself and be there for yourself and show up for yourself and keep your word to yourself, you are able to show up not only for yourself better, but for everybody else that you were supposed to impact, for your loved ones, for the clients that you speak with, for your team that you lead. I'm telling you, brother, if you are in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you need to get in shape. Now. You need to stop lying to yourself and saying that you are okay living below the standard that you know you want to hold. You know you should hold. You know you need to hold. And that's it for today, brother. Go crush the day.